Welcome to Monoco build for mid-game. This build fits perfectly into my OP mid-game party build and you can put Monoco instead of whoever you want. I went with Lune, Monoco and CL as my party and it works fantastic. If you haven't seen that mid-game party build, I'll leave it in the description. For now, we can check out how Monoco is built for mid-game to fit that particular party build. This Monoco is absolutely incredible in supporting everyone and also dealing very nice amount of damage. Verso and Lune can deal much more, but then again they are specifically DPS oriented builds. This Monoco can save the whole team with lots of shields and incredible amount of action point regeneration. He can also heal himself and others, and next to all of that deal decent amount of damage. Usually I put rotation at the end of each video, but this time around I'm going to show you the fight against Axon, one of the big boss enemies in the game, to show how to utilize Monoco properly in the whole party. Weapon that I'm using is Ballaro. Reason is the level 10 upgrade. Using an upgraded skill gives 1 action point to all other allies. Perfectly fits the support role for Monoco. However, you don't have to use this weapon, you can use any other one. It does have scaling off of agility, which is why I've invested a lot of points into agility and vitality and bit of luck as well. You can see the attributes on the right side of the screen. Doesn't have to be exactly like this, you can switch things around if you want. Attributes are not as important as other things, so don't get your panties in a bunch about how to level these things up. It's mostly fine whatever you do. Before going into abilities, make sure to visit these two places. One of the places is going to get you Crueler Barrier ability. And this place in particular, Falling Leaves, has a glaze enemy that gives you glaze earthquakes, which is very powerful ability that can help a lot. Rest of the abilities I can't really remember where I got them, but I haven't went anywhere special. It was mostly from normal enemies that we fight through Act 2. If someone knows exactly where other abilities that I'm using are dropping, please post in comments to help others. I really don't know and can't remember exactly. First ability is a Best Wind. A Best Wind is not for anything but just to skip the Agile mask into something else. That's it. It serves to skip the mask. We don't want Agile mask with this build because we are using mostly caster and heavy. That's the power of this build. So we want to be in caster or heavy as much as possible. Glaze Earthquakes is a powerful ability that also applies powerful to self and allies when heavy mask is active. However, this is an earth damage based ability. Instead of this one, when fighting earth based enemies, use Chevalier Thrusts. Next one is Potier Energy. It refills action points to you and allies. Very useful. After that we have Pelarine Heal, which heals all allies when needed when caster mask is on. Perfect fit when shit hits the fan. Crueler Barrier is an amazing ability that not only applies shields, but it also gives action point under heavy mask. Sometimes we use this ability when shit hits the fan without the heavy mask because it's that bloody useful. I've used it in the first part of the video when showing that fight against Chromatic Mayonnaise, and due to this ability I've managed to survive for so long. I had to actually give up and just let the boss kill me because it got boring. It's all because of this ability. The last one is Mayonnaise Vendange. I'm not pronouncing Moise whatever, it's Mayonnaise. At least I know what Mayonnaise is. The reason why I have slotted this ability is because it uses Balanced Mask, so that we can utilize Balanced Mask with one ability at least, and because it can break. This whole team doesn't have many breaking abilities, unless you are playing with Verso. In this setup, Lune, Monoco and CL, we don't really have that many breaking abilities, so I like to have this one in particular. But if you don't want it, use anything else with Balanced Mask. Now for pictos. 3 pictos that we can slot should have health and critical rate, both preferably. There aren't many cryptos with both health and critical rate, but there are few in Act 2 that we can pick up. Also, one energizing start is really helpful. Here's the list of all the picto abilities that we need. Add on top of this whatever you like. And don't forget that there is also inverted affinity that can increase damage done, but honestly I wouldn't go for it against bosses because you can't heal when having that ability. But then again, there is Solidify and there is also that crueler ability that puts shield, which Monoco can put on himself, so it's up to you. With Solidify on all 3 party members and the crueler ability that puts shields that stack, we have really good protection. Next to that we also have Shell with all set from CL. Alright, now we get to the fight. The point of this is to show you how this all works in combination with the party members from the mid-game build that I did few days ago. I'll just show what my team did so that I don't spoil the attacks of the boss. First, CL put all set on party members. Those are the 3 buffs that are really useful. However, if you're fighting some kind of a normal enemy group, you don't have to go for all set. You can immediately go for intervention and give the turn to Monoco or to Lune if she has 4 stains. With Lune we cast Elemental Stain always in the first round. We need to get as many stains as possible. Then it's Monoco's turn. Bestial Will said caster, so we are going to cast Potier Energy to restore some action points to allies. You don't really have to follow the wheel every time. I usually break when to cast something outside of wheel when Crueler Barrier is needed to apply shields on party members. Then with CL I went with Fortune's Fury on Monoco, because Monoco had enough action points to use his ability, while Lune didn't have all the elemental stains, so I didn't want to waste Fortune's Fury on her. Next is Lune's turn. In this case I am missing Ice Stain, so I went with Thermal Transfer. Thermal Transfer consumes nothing because we don't have 2 Earth Stains, but it generates Ice. This gives us all 4 needed stains. Next one is Monoco. Usually with Agile being active I would cast the Best Wind, but in this case I had Fortune's Fury and enough action points to do whatever I want, so I went with the Glaze Earthquakes. With Fortune's Fury buff from CL it was guaranteed 3 times maximum damage, but I did a mistake because the mask was shielded twice, so it negated 2 of my attacks. Now Lune is ready for Elemental Genesis. Next one was Monoco. In this case I had 2 choices considering that Bestial Wheel was on heavy, either the Crueler Barrier or Earthquakes. I went with Earthquakes this time around because I wanted to DPS the boss down as quickly as possible. Again Lune with Elemental Trick. Then CL with Intervention. Due to Lune not having all 4 stains, I went with Intervention on Monoco. However, I screwed things up because the mask active was not a good one, it was caster, so it wasn't an attack based mask. I did try the attack, but it didn't do much damage. I should have went with either Potier Energy or Pennerin Heal. Monoco got to play again as heavy. I chose to do the Crueler Barrier to protect Lune in case she dies, because she did have 4 elemental stains and I didn't want to lose her turn by having to revive her. I could have went with Earthquake and maybe it would have finished the boss, but I played it safe here. To finish things off, I went with Intervention with CL on Lune and then finished the fight with Lune's Elemental Genesis. That's basically all there is to it. I hope this explained well how Monoco works. Don't forget about the Agile Mask and the skipping done with the Best Wind. Always skip Agile Mask with the Best Wind. We don't need it. Anyway, that would be all. Thank you for watching. There's Patreon, subscribe, star merch in the description if you are interested in stuff like that, and stay tuned for more stuff.
We're overdue for some mayhem.